It was DragonKy Z Gaming. They had new shirts, and Shopify Rebellion. They had new shirts.
I don't think I've seen the Shopify ones. But
Okay.
I remember the DragonKy Z ones were really cool.
For sure. Oh boy, but here we go. We have our first matchup of the day. We are going to be featuring Starlight. Oh, no, sorry, the other one, not SLT, SSLT. The Starving Camels going up against Team ABYDOS, not Team NV.
Super Starlight Twinkle.
There you go, mate. The superstars themselves. We're going to be featuring Silky versus Creator, Firefly versus Mondo, and Cyan versus Cure as well. So quite a lineup here. Of course, Team ABYDOS, they're one of the favorites out there. They're one of the big teams in the team league. But Starving Camels, they have caused some interesting series and caused some pretty interesting upsets as well.
Mate, they're hungry. They got that. What's the phrase? They got that dog in them. But in this case, just grapes.
Excuse me? They got the dog in them?
Yeah, they got that dog in them.
What does that mean?
They're dogged. They've got they've got that wild dog kind of energy.
Yeah. Are you talking about they've got the beast within sort of thing?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
God, does Creator's mentality get smaller every time? They're so mean to him.
Look, he's a grower, not a shower. Okay, it's fine. It's he's got the mental where it counts, and for some reason, the WCI admins are brutal on him. But I think they've leveled him up. Am I crazy? I want to say the last time we saw him, they rated him as a C tier player or something, right? Or
C for Creator rings a bell.
Yeah, because we remember casting was C for Creator and B for Beyond. Yeah.
Which is insane. I mean, I think 70 is quite low for him as well.
It is. But at least they've bumped him up a little bit here. As he's going to be going up against his first player. And here he is for the Starving Camels. We have our Zerg player, Silky.
And in the top left-hand corner for ABYDOS, this is the Korean Protoss Creator. In La Rouge.
Oh, La Rouge.
With his stationary bike and his robot trash can behind him.
Oh, that's a trash can, yeah.
I have no idea what it is. It looks like a robot trash can to me, though. That's the story I've been going with. In my head.
Imagine if that's not just a trash can. That's like a Roomba as well.
Yeah. It just shoots off the top, and then it cleans everything, and then it jumps back on top of the bin, and it just empties its guts into the bin.
Yeah. Imagine. Okay, hold on. Imagine you've got a trash can, but it's like a Beyblade, and you let it rip, and then the top part just
and it spins off the top, and it just and it's bouncing off your walls, cleaning everything.
Yeah.
Ping, ping, ping.
But it
bouncing
cleans
off everything, and then it hits a ramp at some point and jumps back onto the.
Yeah. That's the future. That's unironically, that's the future. Maybe you don't. Maybe
sounds
you
like
don't...
a great idea unless you're a house pet.
I mean, there can be different settings. You can have a less aggressive version if there's a pet or a child out there. You don't want to
Nah.
Yeah.
I'll put spikes on it. Just run that child down.
Oh my god. It's so the child doesn't impede the cleaning. We want peak efficiently cleaning.
Yeah, we need to speed it up so that there's no it doesn't slow down. It just goes straight through.
Yeah.
It's when you're driving on rural roads and they say if a kangaroo jumps out in front of the car, you don't slow down because it'll smash into the car. You need to speed up so that it bounces off.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's true. If you're this is a good thing to know. If you ever drive in rural Australia and a kangaroo jumps out, don't slow down. Actually, you should actually go faster because it needs to bounce off. If it embeds in your windshield, you're in trouble.
Does that apply to people as well? If you're someone in front of you, do you speed up? Do you?
I think you have other priorities when it comes to people. But,
okay.
Probably. if all you care about is not getting a 80km/h headbutt, then I suppose so.
There you go. That's our PSA. Our little tip from Asher.
This doesn't have to be a double fatality.
Yeah. You got to look after your windshield.
Yeah. Like, don't dim my car, bro.
Oh god, I'm just thinking of Sesame Street again. That's how they do in Sesame Street, mate. That's how.
Is it?
Yeah. Aye.
Like, I haven't seen Elmo in a while. Yeah, don't worry about it. At least I'm here, right? Aren't you happy that I'm okay?
True. Oh god, as I love that we're getting into this as well. We were focusing a lot on what's going on behind Creator, but likewise, one of my favorite things about casting Silky is, especially when it comes to the head. He's like the Karate Kid, mate. Wipe on.
The headband's not on his head; it's on his hair.
Yeah. His head doesn't need the support; his hair does.
Like a fro.
It's beautiful, mate. It's beautiful.
As actually, speaking of, we do have some very nice micro coming out from Creator, getting some good damage with that Oracle there. Manages to shut that door back at home, and he goes into a Void Ray after the Oracle as well. I'm going to give you some nasty flashbacks and make you think back to when we had that 2 Stargate meta. Was it Oracle, Void Ray, Oracle, or was it Void Ray, Oracle, Void Ray?
It was Void Ray first. It was Void Ray first.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Man, I could have been a GM Protoss.
Oh, yeah. You would have been like top 16 in name, mate. What are you talking about?
I would have been like, Migs, you can't coach me. You can't even hold my proxy Void Ray.
Smooch, Papi Smooch. Not like this. But yeah, we were of course not getting into our game. We did have some pretty standard openers all around from both of our players, but we do have a swell of Lings coming out from Silky. Interesting, he's trying to hunt down these depths. Looks like he will catch some of them, but the Oracles are here to support. Oh my god.
Yeah, that felt a little bit unnecessary. I don't feel like Creator was really threatening anything over there, and there we go. We are going to be having these Oracles just skirting around, looking for some damage. They find the Queen out of position, but there's not enough energy for the beams on both Oracles, so the Queen will be okay there. Creator just using these for scouting at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Just keeping his opponent penned back, and because of the swell of Lings earlier, that does kind of eat into the economy of Silky as well. He doesn't have the best drone count. He's actually going for a 4th base, and he is massing a massive amount of Lings behind this.
Yeah, he's looking to be very aggressive, maybe sensing there might be an opening because these Oracles have expended so much energy.
Yeah, we'll see if there is one. I mean, the Bailey Nest just finished, so he's going to be able to bust as well. We have +1 melee on the way, but +1 melee is still halfway done. It still needs a little bit of time to really kick in. Meanwhile, hopefully we get a cancel on this. Oh, thank God. We do get the cancel.
Yeah, still playing pretty sharp, and we have Creator ducking in and out, trying to look for some damage with the Oracles, and yeah, he's just going to ignore the Spore. He's going to sack both of these Oracles for a bit of extra damage. 7 drones for 2 Oracles. I don't feel great about that, especially with what's coming his way.
That's the thing. Creator, he hasn't scouted the all-in that's coming. Lings and Banelings just finished up. We do have quite a formidable defense at the 3rd base with all those sentries and force fields, but Silky is looking for an opening towards the natural inside the Banelings. They do roll on in, and looks like, oh, there are force fields.
Yeah, great force field, but got an Immortal behind that as well, so that Immortal will do a fantastic job soaking up Banelings, especially if its shield hasn't been triggered yet. Behind this, we do see Creator's going to be going up into a Templar Archive, so he'll have access to Storm if Silky continues to be really aggressive with Lingbane. Otherwise, he can start to go into Archons.
Yeah, and Creator is honestly in a really phenomenal position. Silky invested so much into these Lings, he didn't know that there were sentries back at home to defend. The Creator had been this defensive. Like, he's going for a really interesting build here, going into kind of a Soul Trade-esque push, and it just happened to work out so perfectly for him.
Yeah, I feel like we've been casting a lot of the European Protosses in particular playing styles like this. I think it's Gerald that was doing it, where these players are skipping out on Blink and not being overly aggressive necessarily, even though we are seeing Creator being aggressive, but focusing more on having a defensive army.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, he was able to deflect the Lingbane. He goes for the recall as well. Does leave 1 Zealot behind, but honestly, it's still a good trade for Creator. He preserves his high-tech units, and behind this, he's eventually going to be getting into charge into +1.
Yeah, and I do like this as well. He doesn't have to commit that hard to charge lots. He can just use them more as a run-by force and as emergency defense, and he can focus very hard on getting a high-quality army from the start, which I think does just simplify the game plan quite a lot.
It really does. Meanwhile, Silky's not going to take this lying down. He does go for a counterattack, does deny the 4th base of Creator at least. He forced a recall earlier, but again, Silky still has a lot of droning to catch up on. And Creator, is going to be looking to be in his face, not just with charge lots, but also with Archons.
Yeah, I like this a lot, especially when Silky's been so aggressive with these different groups of Ling Bane. This really will get Silky off of his back, and he saves the Archon and a couple of those Zealots as well, and this is just buying him so much time to get that 4 set up.
Oh, it really is. All the Ling Bane had to return back home to defend. We see the army repositioning at the 4th base so Creator can get it up and running. And once again, Silky is going to be cutting workers here at 71, and he is transitioning a little bit. He's still primarily on Ling Bane, but he's going to be incorporating some Hydras as well.
Yeah, there we go. And those are some fantastic force fields from Creator. It's been so on point with those all games so far. And it's I really love force fields. This is a general mechanic. I feel like it's a great way for skill expression in Protoss players, which, you know, a lot of people don't think that that's a thing, but it happens from time to time.
Yeah, you one of them, Asher? Is that what you're trying to say?
Depends on who it is. There's some Protoss players that like to express their skill, and some Protoss players don't have the faculties.
Yeah. I shake my head, I'm shaking my head. I will neither confirm nor deny this statement. As you see, a bit of a Zealot run by, a Ling run by here towards the natural, but no, there are plenty of Zealots here to defend as well. Creator is not done with that Prism either, as he dips back in once again for the 2nd time. Silky a bit out of position, but thankfully reinforcements are coming out in time.
And you know, on ladder, like, you got to agree with this as well. Like, the scariest Protosses are either the really good ones or the really bad ones. The ones that are in the middle are just not that scary.
It's true. It's true. The really bad ones are terrifying because they know that they can just A move, Papi, and they're not afraid. They're not afraid to do it.
They're not scared of anything.
They have no fear, Papi. They have no fear. It's like,
oh, these Colossus, they're cool. Let's make more of them. Why not?
The kind of players that go up to 6 Colossi because they don't care about over damage, but it works, Papi. It works.
As the 5th is starting to come up, looks like Silky looking to put some pressure on, but he definitely doesn't have enough right now to deal with that. Creator doing a really nice job splitting his army as well. These Archons, if the shield battery can stay up, will do a great job, but no, the Baneling's going to take out the shield battery, so there is going to be some damage here.
Yeah, the Banelings, they roll into the mineral line as well. Late reaction, and we do see some probes falling. Not too many, though. Only 10 going down at the same time, though. Silky is able to once again deny that 5th base. Not just the 5th, he rolls into the mineral line.
The force fields are late from Creator, and he loses so many probes. 22 probes going to be going down, and Creator was doing such a good job defending up until this point, but a little slip up like that can be so punishing.
It really can be. The economy of Creator is not looking too hot anymore. He's down 20 workers compared to his opponent, despite having such a great economy leading up to this. But the army of Creator is still terrifying.
Oh, the skill, the force fields, so skill.
Beautiful, Papi. It's like art, but you know what, Silky? He's avoiding the main army. He's avoiding the Colossi and those force fields. He's going to be hitting that 3rd base once again.
It is like art. Art has good force fields too.
Yeah. Which one?
The one playing tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Got him. I didn't realize he was still on Platinum Heroes, actually.
Yeah. He's still there. He's just been a little bit less active. You know, he's been competing a little bit less, but he's still there for his team. Still there.
I thought he was touching grass or something.
He has been. He got sick. That's what happens when you touch grass. Yeah. It's not healthy.
Do they have a lot of grass in Poland?
I hope not. No, they do.
Okay.
Yeah. And snow as well. It can be quite snowy. Yeah.
Well, the snow covers the grass.
It does. That makes it safe.
That makes it safe, yeah, you can touch it. It's grass, but it's wet. You like it?
Yeah, I like it wet.
Does Poland have a lot of cows?
No, they have negative cows. They're all
negative.
Good. Yeah. They owe people cows.
They owe people cows. Oh.
They owe me cows, mate. Look, we can. I can talk about this. I can talk about this for days. I can. Well, we have a game to cast, but I have things to say about Poland and their beef industry. As you do see a bit of a surround here, Silky, his army is quite split up.
Yeah, he will be able to save the Colossus. Well, Creator brings these two sides of his army back together, and wow, the Archons and the Immortals, they soak up so much damage here. And with this extra warp in of Zealots with the support of the Colossus, to be able to break through here.
Wow, the tower even collapses in the middle of that fight as well. Silky cannot dive on top of this, and he'll be losing one of his hatcheries, but the army of Creator isn't looking as powerful as it once was. He's down to 3 Colossi, but they are still alive, and we do warp in a massive wave of reinforcements.
Hey lad, have you got some beef with Poland? Have you got some beef? Do you and Poland have beef? GG is called. Creator takes game 1.
Oh boy. GG, well played. Creator, things are looking quite scary for him. Even though Silky had, I'll say, a rocky start to that game, eventually his counterattacks to Lingbane run-bys were able to overcome and were able to bring him back in that game, crippling the economy of Creator, and Silky was able to make a game out of that.
Yeah, Silky honestly looked pretty good against one of the top players in Korea. He looked very solid. He definitely had chances in that game. I do think that his style didn't have a lot of longevity to it. It feels like even though he got damage, he still wasn't really working towards a very strong transition, but he got himself into some good spots in that game for sure. It was just some very nice army control that got created back into it.
Yeah, it was the army control, it was the force fields, it was the a little bit out of position towards the end there, but it was his use of the terrain as well, knocking down that tower, forcing the rocks down as well to avoid all that surface area. It was beautiful to see, and Creator does take the first game, but it wasn't an easy one, and that means, hey, Silky, he has been able to punch up before. You know, he has been one of the star players of SSLT for a reason. And here in game 2, to hit the third base, he actually was focusing down the rocks on the other side instead to hit the natural. And because it was a little bit out of the way, Classic had a really hard time scouting. He didn't realize what was happening at all. He was so focused on Oracle harass on the right hand side, and it kind of slipped by.
Yeah, okay, so that's something to look out for. As here we go, spawning in the top left hand corner of the map for the Starving Camels. This is Silky.
Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner for Team ABYDOS, it is Creator. Is Creator's camera low quality, or is it fogged up because he just came out of the shower?
It does look like he is in one of those really big showers.
Yeah, like a sauna.
You know, when they have not even a sauna, when they have disabled friendly showers that are really big and they've got handrails everywhere. And automatic bins that are Roombas that clean up and dry up the floor and murder children.
Yeah. Are you saying
you know what I mean?
They're in the shower together? Is that what you're saying?
I think so. I think Creator plays in his bathroom in the shower. Maybe okay. Hear me out.
Yeah. Maybe
Creator is married and his wife or husband doesn't know that he plays StarCraft. And so he just plays all of his tournament games in the bathroom and locks the door.
You're saying that right now he's living a double life. You know, his spouse believes that Creator is the most the most clean person in the world, to the point where
but then his bowels are not very clean. He has to spend a long time in the toilet.
Yeah, you know, what is he doing in there? You know, his spouse would rather not think too much about it. You know, is he regardless, he's spending quite a long time there in the bathroom, and you know, it's you got to do what you got to do, you know. Yeah. Here in hand.
There's another. I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it's Risky. His background looks like he was on the toilet. I remember that. Yeah.
There's Cure who he just has a blank wall behind him, right?
That's kind of fitting. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like he would put human decorations in his.
Jeez! Oh my! What? He's gonna mine out the walls. He's gonna mine out the middles.
Cheese?
Yeah, let's go.
Cheese.
I just didn't think.
Cheese detected.
I just didn't think he would. I didn't think he would, Poppy. I didn't believe it. I was just saying words. Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't see it at all. Okay, this is really cool.
Yeah.
This is cat strats. Oh, the call is coming from inside the house.
Yeah, I mean, the call is coming from inside. The Lings, they flood on in. They're going to surround the pylon. Pylon's going to go down. That's going to depower all the production. The boys are being pulled. And Silky, he's going to pull this off.
Wait, this is gross. This is why he picked Neo Humanity.
Yeah.
This is actually so dirty.
Wow.
Why have we not been seeing this on ladder like every PvZ? Maybe we have. Are there any Protoss players in chat that can confirm whether this is a regular occurrence? This
is why we veto Neo Humanity, mate. As we only have one Stalker remaining for Creator, we have some pretty good drone drilling overall. The Stalker does survive. The pylon has been thrown down. The Adept is on the way.
Yeah, actually, this might not be enough. In fact, I don't think it is enough. I just noticed Silky's only got 15 workers, and that pylon did get up for a moment. It's not going to stay up, which means we don't get the second Adept, but we do get an Adept out, and now we can drop back everything. Oh, the probes might be going down. Good hold position micro coming out from Creator, and he's going to fight the rest of the Lings. He does take them down, but he's down to 9 probes. Is it good enough?
Yeah, he lost a lot of workers here. The wall's still not a wall. We still have more Lings flooding across the map. It looks like it was about to be a close hold, but GG gets called, and Silky ties it up 1-1. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go.
Oh, he loves it. Gee, I think Creator might have just broken the sink in his bathroom, but we have a 1-1 score, and that was gross.
I'm telling you, mate, Silky is the Karate Kid. He waxes on and he waxes off as well. The Team GP maneuver, he, reveals a little bit in game 1. He shows his hand. He acts like, he was trying.
He whacks off. His name was... never mind.
What are you...
in-game name. Anyway. Let's move on. When I saw that cheese light, when I saw 4 drones coming across the map, I could not believe my eyes. I wasn't sure if it was real.
You couldn't believe your cows.
I could not believe my eyes. If 4 drones flew in my room when I'm asleep. It's Firefly.
Yeah, there we go. So again, Silky fighting back once again. This is the thing, Starving Camels, they have been getting some really surprising results. All of their players have been able to take games off of their opponents, regardless of the skill level, regardless of the skill gap. It has been insane.
Well, it's got me questioning whether there even is a skill gap, because they're doing it so consistently at this point.
Yeah. I'm telling you, mate. I'm telling you, they're coming in so heavily prepared, and likewise, I'm sure this player is as well. Our next matchup is going to be Firefly versus Mondo. First time. We've been casting a lot of Mondo here on this channel, but this is the first time we're able to see him. He's amazing. He's beautiful. He is the up-and-comer here on Team ABYDOS, and this is the first time where I probably have to agree here with the rankings where Firefly is coming in as the favorite.
Yeah. Out of all of these all of the players on this team, I feel like Firefly is definitely the most solid out of everyone, and the one that I would favor most to not necessarily even need to take cheesy games, but to take some solid macro games. As here he is in the top left-hand corner of the map for SSLT. This is Firefly.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Grassfan for ABYDOS, it is Mondo.
You ever watch Happy Tree Friends?
Yeah, of course. That was
I think of with Mondo, because it's Mondo Media.
Oh, okay.
They're the people who make Happy Tree Friends.
I did not know that. Fair enough. Happy Tree Friends. That's like I don't know. That used to be really big, like in the early days of like the year 2000, right? Like 2005, 2006 ish. Yeah. It's good. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
My cousin would always tell me about it. I had an adult cousin, and he would be like telling me all about it. And I'd be like, "Oh, we should watch it. You should bring it over." And he's like, I don't think your mom would like that." And I'm like, "Why not? It's got the animals and they're playing." And he's like, No. I don't think so.
Yeah, I would watch that with my younger cousins, with our parents completely unawares as to what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's kind of like along the lines of like South Park sort of thing, I guess, where it's like a cartoon, but it's not quite for kids.
No.
Yeah.
I do remember watching it at school though.
You watched it at school?
Yeah. Like we just passed it around on flash drives at school. I don't know if you used to do that. It probably isn't a thing anymore because cloud's so good these days. But it used to be people would bring like USBs and hard drives to school, and you'd always have a USB, and you'd like trade like cracked games and TV shows and movies and stuff.
Yeah, especially like going into like 2007, 2008, like that's when like schools, at least here, started giving out like laptops and stuff to students. So everyone would have like hardware to work with, and everyone would like get like Game Boy Advance like emulators and stuff like that, and put it on their laptop.
Oh yeah,
and we trade ROMs.
Well, yeah, I never had a laptop. I think my sister did. They introduced it after I finished school. But I do remember we passed around Soldier of Fortune, and we had I Want to Be the Guy. That was good. And there's this game called Ninja Plus or something. It was like a flash game where it's just one of those like platformers that's really hard that you can just play forever. But yeah, that's what we would do. And TV shows, like I remember people giving me like The Office and like Game of Thrones and stuff like that.
Yeah, Game of Thrones is the big one. You'd pass it around, give it to everyone.
Yeah, it got pirated by everyone in Australia. HBO not coming to Australia early was such a mistake.
Yeah, that hit the news. Like the most pirated country for Game of Thrones was Australia.
Yeah, because we couldn't get HBO at all. Like Fox didn't have it.
Yeah.
Until later on.
It. True. Strange.
Not Smash, it's free. Watched it every Monday when it came out.
It's true, Bobby, true.
It was like that, and Breaking Bad was another one.
Yeah, Breaking Bad, yeah, that was the other one. You used to watch so many more shows when I was younger.
Yeah, for StarCraft, man. StarCraft really ruined my life, man.
It made it better, Poppy. What do you mean? You're out here casting Mondo?
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think Mondo's a pretty cool guy.
He is. Look at him. He's like Maru's big brother. He's got some Terminator vibes.
Terminator?
Yeah.
Really?
The player, not Arnie.
Oh, okay. I didn't know there was a player called Terminator.
Yeah, there was a player called Terminator. He was like Maru's big brother on Engineer. He was beautiful. His name made sense as well. He was like a big hulking giant of a man.
Okay.
But like you know, like soft and like cuddly sort of like demeanor, you know?
I am picturing literally nothing. That just sounded like two opposite descriptions to me. I'm just distracted because I'm picturing Impact actually.
Okay. Oh.
Now we're talking. Now you're picturing Impact.
I picture
I've lost you.
as well.
It's over.
Yeah. We can think of him together.
Okay.
Have you been watching him recently?
No.
He won a bodybuilding competition like a month ago.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. He is just. Man, you thought he was ripped before. Nah, mate. Now he's insane.
Man, good stuff. Yeah. Nerds getting a life. Love to see it.
Yeah.
As Firefly, he's going to be going into Double Forge here. He's done a lot of damage with these oracles so far.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so far we've had some pretty standard openers. Firefly did go for a Stargate opener into his third base, into Double Forge, as you were saying. Likewise, Mondo has been the defender, just droning, trying to keep up with all these Oracle harass, but he has been losing drones here and there, and slowly it does add up. He's lost 10 or plus workers at this point. And we haven't really been able to talk much about the players. We were talking about how amazing Mondo looks, but if you're unfamiliar with him, we've been casting a lot of him in KSL, in ESL Open Cup Asia. He's an up-and-coming, more semi-pro player in the Korean scene, but he's been getting some decent results here, and I do want to believe in his ability to bring down Firefly. On a good day, he can do it, I believe.
Yes, he's an up-and-coming Zerg Korean, which means that you're investing all the hope that you have left in him.
This one. It's him. That's him. Who else is there? Asher, who else is there?
That's it.
Yeah.
Unless we can somehow revitalize Armani's passion. That's all we got.
my hope for it was an impact, and then we saw what happened there. He chose not to play the game, and now suddenly he's a bodybuilder. Like this is what happens when Zerg players decide not to play StarCraft. Smooch.
They're the best at everything else because they're just so talented.
They are. They're more talented than anyone else.
True.
Maru's trash.
Oh my god. Calm down a little.
I love you, Maru. I love you. Just joking. We'll see how this all does turn out. Mondo just drone up to a nice 71 drone count here, and I believe that's where he's going to be stopping. Mondo does typically thrive in the mid game, and that just means, mate, we're going to be hammering down that roach button.
Yeah, okay, so... Oh, wow. Nice stasis traps.
Yeah, stage traps do go off on the majority of those things. They do get trapped, but again, Mondo, he's not too concerned here. He's banking up his Roaches and Ravagers back at home. They have gone unscouted, by the way. Firefly is unawares as he's trying to get his fourth base up and running. The longer this goes on without him setting up static defense defensively, I do worry for his ability to defend this base.
You reckon the Zerglings, when they're in the stasis trap, can see everything that's happening?
Oh.
They can see the Stalkers setting up around them?
do they see it, or does time freeze for their brains as well, and then they come back?
Yeah. Zerglings probably aren't that smart.
Well, we'll see here as we do have Banelings crashing into the army, and Firefly taking a bit of a questionable fight out of range of shield batteries and cannons, as Mondo is still making more Lings and Roaches behind this. Again, he is going to be very committed with this push. Queens are spreading creep as best they can. And Firefly, I believe he has a shield battery at that fourth base, but I think he only has one.
Yeah, okay, so Firefly's doing a really good job just kiting back and forth, and he's going to be warping in some Zealots into the main as well, so that's going to make it very difficult for Mondo to keep his attention dealt on both sides, forces him into a bit more of an all-in position, might force him to rush this engagement as well, as the shield battery overcharge is going down. So many Roaches and Ravagers going to be going down to these Stalkers.
Yeah, exactly. Mondo, he's bleeding out a little bit too much, and his attention is diverted because of that Zealot warp in, and he's losing too many Ravagers. They are exposed, and with them falling, that's going to spell the end of this push.
Yeah, there just really isn't enough here. I mean, we do have a few reinforcing Banelings coming on in, but it's just not really going to be enough. It's a little too late. He might be able to get some probe damage, but no, Firefly is a little bit too sharp for that.
Yeah, exactly. It was such a good warp in into the main base. It really did cripple the economy and cripple the push of Mondo. He would have loved to have just continued to rally across the map, but alas, he was not able to. And now he's in a really bad position. He's down in the workers. He is even in bases, and he has an army that doesn't have too much longevity.
Yeah, totally. And now we have Firefly scouring around the map with these oracles, looking for some extra damage as well. He's going to be able to keep an eye on what Mondo's doing, and Mondo's kind of stuck on a low-tech army now because he has to keep rebuilding it just to be safe, and that's going to make it really hard for him to come back into this game.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he's going to try to because he has to. We have double Evo chambers on the way as well to get into double upgrades. But he's down in those upgrades. He's got 0-0 compared to the 1-1 of Firefly already. Mondo, he's got a lot of catching up to do. There is a world where he can. He's going to have the most amazing counterattacks and run-bys and somehow slip into a mineral line with some Banelings, and then he can have a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Firefly doing a really good job being active out on the map, catching out some extra Lings with these Stalkers as well. Just continuing to warp Zealots into the main there too, which is just making it so hard for Mondo to split up his army and stay on top of everything that's going on.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, that's creating an opening here for the main army of Fireflies, pushing through the center of Gresvan, clearing up so much of this creep, and Mondo, it's just a numbers game at this point. He doesn't have enough. He's even struggling to clean up the Zealot run-by in the main base, let alone the main army.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to have these Stalkers just blinking on forward aggressively, and they will be taking down so many of these Roaches, so many of these Ravagers. Feels like it's just about the end here for Mondo. He held on so well, but with that, GG is called. Firefly takes this one.
GG, well played. A solid game there from Firefly. Leading up to that mid game, leading up to that push, he was doing such a great job keeping his oracles alive and getting damage over time. hindering the economy of Mondo, and then it all led into that massive warp in into the main base, just forcing Mondo all in, forcing his hand when he didn't really want to, when he would have, I imagine, would have rather have taken his time pushing in towards that fourth base.
Yeah, it was just some brutal timing in general. It just came in at the perfect time where Mondo had just sent everything across the map, probably didn't really have that much army in production either, so it just forced him into that inefficient fight.
Yeah, it really did. But now, immediately we're jumping into game number 2. Spawning in the top left-hand corner for the Starving Camels, it is Firefly.
And bottom right-hand corner of the map for ABYDOS, this is Mondo.
Oh, Kuro, she posted a photo for you. Look at Terminator and Maru. Look at him.
So big.
Yeah, that's what I mean, Poppy. He's huge. Well, Maru's small.
Like a rectangle.
Yeah, that's why he's a robot.
Like the fridge.
It's like a hunk of steel.
Like a bar of gold. Like an ingot.
Oh god, I loved Terminator. It was amazing. He was like Maru's big brother on Jin.
Nice.
He was a Protoss player, not a Terran.
I see.
All right, well, with that, we're going to be getting into our second game. Is Happy's Tree Friends, is that still a thing? Is that...
Guessing not.
Can't be, right?
I feel like it would be like The Simpsons at this point if it was still a thing. They'd have like 700 episodes.
True. Apparently... No, wait, what? Apparently
700 episodes?
They came back, so they ended in 2006, which makes sense. That lines up. But they had like a returning, like a comeback season in like 2013, and then another one in 2014, and then another one in 2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
So there's like some new. It's like Futurama, you know how like they came back after like a long hiatus.
Yeah. Sort of.
Yeah.
Was Futurama good when it came back? I feel like it was.
I never watched it when it came back.
I never heard anything about it, so I'm just gonna assume that it sucked.
Yeah. That's what I've heard. You hear that, Happy Tree Friends? Your new seasons, we haven't seen them, but they probably suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the thumbs down from us.
I may try to find it later. We'll see if it holds up. But they can't go. Like, how do you mess up Happy Tree Friends? You just gotta like have these cute cuddly creatures kill each other, right? In creative ways.
Yeah, I feel like it might not have been good from the start.
It's
I
true.
just have no idea.
Yeah,
it's one of those things where I might go back and watch it and be like, this isn't funny at all.
Yeah. It's very possible. Oh god. As we're finding ourselves in game number 2, and oh boy, Mondo not having the easiest or the best time in the first game. Oh, we actually have something different coming up from Firefly though. Before the Stargate is even done, his Twilight Council is quite fast. It's like unusually fast. Oh.
Yeah, and he's making a Phoenix. This is super weird. The Phoenix should do a good job of clearing up all the overlords that can find them very quickly as well, so he can pretty much guarantee that he's not going to be getting scouted. And looks like he is going up into at least 4 gates for Glaives, but Mondo putting on some good aggression at the start here could end up at least getting him a scout, maybe unintentionally.
Yeah, exactly. Lings are trying to knock down the front door, but the Adepts are in position. We do throw down the force field as well. Glaives, as you were saying, is coming out behind this, and if you recall, it was Firefly who had the upset against Cham by catching Cham off guard with a 6-gate Glaive Adept follow-up after a Stargate opener, and I'm getting those vibes here. Getting worried for Mondo.
Yeah, okay, and I mean, Firefly already getting some damage. This is something with all-ins in general against Zerg. If you can kill a few overlords at the start of the game, that actually makes your all-in hit so much harder, just because this is such a crucial time for Zerg, especially against an all-in where they need to be hitting their droning perfectly, because once they start making units, they might not get another chance to drone.
Yeah, exactly, and we'll see what drone count we end up with for Mondo. Meanwhile, I believe it is going to be 4-gate Glaive Adept. I believe we haven't thrown down any more outside of that, but regardless, the Adepts are moving out, and Mondo is woefully underprepared. He's got a couple of lings here and there, but the Roach Warren just now starts, and this is a late Roach Warren.
Oh, I think this is with no Robo, is it?
Yeah.
How strange.
It's crazy.
I guess that's why it's hitting so early, and he actually is able to get a third behind it as well.
Yeah, third is on the way. The Adepts come into the shade. Lings are being cleaned up left and right. Boys have to be pulled out of there. Oh, and it looks like only a single drone has gone down, so not too much economic damage, but the Adepts, there's still nothing to really stop them.
Yeah, the Phoenix picking up the Queen. Very cute as well. Nice moves there. And now these are going to be getting on top of this next drone line completely unstopped. A lot of lings going down. The drones are going to be starting to go down as well. Unfortunately, a lot of them just damaged, not actually going down. But if you can stay here for just a little bit longer, that's when the damage is going to start to add up. And wow, this is already getting so much damage for how little of a commitment it is. Too much for Mondo. He calls GG. Firefly going to be taking game number 2.
GG, well played. Firefly with the 2-0. Mondo definitely not looking too bad in game number 1, but here in game 2, just caught completely off guard, had no idea what was coming his way. He threw down his Roach Warren like at the almost 5-minute mark, which again is very late indeed. He was in the middle of droning. He wasn't ready at all for Glaive Adepts.
Yeah, wow, that was just very solid play by Firefly and a very interesting kind of offbeat build. I could definitely see that backfiring pretty hard as well if it got cleaned up. But yeah, comfortable 2-0 over Mondo, and that just puts his team in a fantastic spot against ABYDOS. I mean, we haven't really talked about it much today, but the Starving Camels have been doing so amazingly well in this competition so far, way beyond expectations. And ABYDOS is the kind of team where if they're consistently beating teams of that level and getting those wins, they could be getting through to the playoffs in ABYDOS's place.
They really could. You know, they are neck and neck right now. ABYDOS is 5th place and SSLT are 6th place. So this is a pretty important matchup, to be honest. And even if Cure gets the 2-0 and Cure is the favorite in the next series, we're going to go to the ace match if that occurs. And in the ace match, anything can happen. This is coming down to the wire. And I actually don't really even want to count Cyan out completely.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be very difficult for him. I mean, Cure's TVP is world class, but you know, the one thing that Cyan does have going for him is Cure did lose today in a TVP 2-0, so maybe he's a bit tilted.
Yeah, it's possible. It is possible. And again, Cyan may just have something really dirty up his sleeve as well for game number 2 if he does go for the Team GP maneuver, if he does decide to wax on and wax off.
If he wax off, yes. Yeah. As they do have, wow, Cyan actually getting pretty nice rating from them. And Cure, did he always have that 10 in macro? I think that's
it's updated.
Definitely, I think that's fair, but it looks like he's been bumped up actually.
Yeah. That is something I think we both took note of it yesterday, where they have been updating these scores, which is definitely a good thing. And Cure, I believe he was earlier a B tier player. I think he was B, maybe even C. I want to say B though, but yeah, it looks like they have kind of given him some extra points that he desperately he deserves.
Yeah, he's been in really great form lately, and macro has been his strong suit. He kind of is just a very solid all-round player. Always has been, but when he's at his best, it's really impressive to watch.
Oh yeah, it is very impressive indeed. And oh boy, we'll see if we get a Cure in form or if he has been tilted because of the losses earlier today. You mentioned it, but Classic did take down Cure in KSL, but here we have his opponent, the Blue Protoss for SSLT, Cyan.
And in the top left-hand corner of the map for ABYDOS, this is Cure. Cool.
Oh. Interesting. What?
That was such a single brain cell moment of our casting Archon. Me just making noises and you saying interesting.
Oh, I had nothing to do with your noises, but
Like, yes, Light is using the brain cell right now.
Oh my god. Yeah, look, okay, look, I always do this. My analysis here, okay? This is either a really bad thing or maybe it's a good thing. We'll see. Cyan in his player photo, he has is he setting up? In the player photo, he does have a big puffy jacket, and the last
he thought
time
he might have a neck under there, but he doesn't.
Oh my god.
Looking staunch.
Jesus. And he had it on when he took a game off of Scarlet last week. Last week he went 1-1 against Scarlet. You know, he was in form.
Yeah,
he had just had a shower as well, so his hair was like a little bit frazzled. It was shiny. It was wet.
The gray fleece jacket.
Yeah. The fleece jacket. Yeah. And now the jacket is off, Buff. He's taken it off.
He decided to jack it off, and he looks. Look at his posture. Actually, he has such nice posture. Must be a Protoss thing. Him and Showtime have just been, doing practice games, and instead of playing StarCraft, they just compare posture.
Yeah, it's a good way to like flaunt your chest. Like it's like
a peacock.
Yeah,
a rooster. Actually, roosters do that.
Yeah, he is looking like a rooster.
Teach him to crow.
Teach him to gah.
Is that what you do at 6 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah.
I
Wake
just
up
everyone on the farm.
Yeah. I'm aroused from my sleep.
From your slumber?
Yeah.
You're aroused in your slumber.
And then when the moment arrives, that's when you go, Papi. That's when you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Cyan's going to be going for a Twilight Council opener. Kyo just going for a very standard 1-1-1. And I think Cyan probably going to be looking to play a bit more of a standard macro game. This is not a good map for 4-gate blink. It's more likely to be going for like a 2-gate or a 3-gate and going into a faster third.
Yeah, I imagine so. And again, I feel like this is all a part of the plan. I don't think we're going to be showing anything too fancy or too crazy, at least from the side of Cyan. For now, I do think there are layers to this series, but we'll see as he goes for his hallucinated scout, does scout and see everything in the main.
He's been exposed, and Kyo already put a bit of damage on that sentry. Looks like he's not going to be hanging back to try to get the damage. Just wants to get the scout in the main and might be able to pick up a few probes through his trouble as well. Looks like it's just going to be 2 for the moment, but he sees Blink researching. That's a very important scout here.
There we go. He does confirm the Twilight Council, does confirm the lack of Dark Shrine as well, and now he's fully aware of what he is up against. And even gets those 2 probes, so not bad damage whatsoever from Akira. Meanwhile, you called it, Cyan is setting up for that third base. Not an abundance of gateways. We have more of a macroeconomic opener instead.
Yeah, just going to be the 2-gate expand here. Cure with this mine drop is going to get the scout on the third. He's going to get scouted himself as well, so not a huge amount of potential for this mine drop to get damage.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of these 2-gate expand openers here in TVP, a surprising amount of it actually. And yeah, it's been a little bit refreshing, a little bit less aggressive from our Protoss players as the mine drop comes in. Ooh, does take out one of those stalkers.
Yeah, 2-gate, it's pretty much the 1-1-1 of Protoss. It's just the most standard, solid build you can go for. It can be a little bit hard to hold some cheeses with it if you catch them late, but in general, you still get a pretty decent amount of stalkers for your early game, and you can go very fast into Charge, Colossus, and your 8 gateways.
And that's kind of what we're working towards right now. We have Robotics Bay on the way and a Forge as well. Quite a lot of tech here off of a very minimal amount of gateways, but for the time being, we are getting away with it. Meanwhile, we see Cure back at home just ramping on up himself.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what he's doing. So he's going to use this first medevac from the mine drop just to load up these Marines, send them around the edge of the map, and then when his first 2 medevacs come out of his starport and he goes for his stim timing, that should sync up quite nicely. So this medevac probably going to go all the way around the edge of the map so that it's hitting at roughly the same time that his move out is starting to happen.
We'll see if he can pull that off. Meanwhile, we see Cyan just knocking on the front door here, picks off a couple of SCVs, not too bad, but there's that medevac that you were talking about. It is slipping its way in towards that main base. And are we going to have enough in position here as Cyan is still working on his gateway explosion, still getting his production up and running?
Yeah, so Cure's just gonna, looks like he's just gonna force a warp in, force some stalkers to be committed here. He just wants his medevac to be seen and respected, and have those stalkers sit there, just to make this first push a little bit more successful.
Yeah, exactly. The medevac is seen, is heard. Its feelings will be warranted, of course. And this push is gonna start moving out. We have that Raven from the early game, plenty of energy on it as well for those disables or anti-armor missiles, and our Colossus count isn't looking too high either. I believe by the time the push moves out, we should have 2 Colossi.
Yeah, you're usually going to have 2 for this kind of move out, and with the Raven coming across as well, the Raven will have enough energy for 2 disables as it gets there for the push, so there's definitely potential here. This isn't necessarily meant to kill, although it certainly can in the hands of a player like Cure.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how he's able to control. We'll see if Cyan can slow down this push, maybe even snipe the Raven as it does move out. For the time being, Cure, he flirts with the idea. He takes control of the zone, Naga at least. We'll back off for a little bit here, waiting for some more reinforcements.
Yeah, Cure is being very patient with this push right now. He should be able to get those next 2 medevacs to come out, pick up some of those units, bring them over to reinforce this push as well, and then that should be when he goes for it. And he still has that single drop around the main as well, just threatening, keeping some units back at home. Cyan himself actually going to be going for a Zealot run by. I really like this, but Cure hasn't actually gone for his 3rd yet, so it's not going to find much.
Yeah, the Zealots show up, not really much to kill here, but at least they'll be able to stick around for when that 3rd CC does eventually show up. Meanwhile, Cure, he's making his move. He's finally pushing out through that halfway point across the map, trying to find his way here, trying to edge his way forward as he does get a disable off.
Yeah, the Colossus have been spotted. Drops down that disable just to stop those Marines from getting picked off too aggressively as he crosses the map. Some very nice force fields from Cyan, going to be cutting the army in half. And we do see that drop that has been committing all of those stalkers into the main of Cyan. Is going to be joining up with the rest of the army now.
Yeah, and here we go. We pounce on forward here. 1 tank goes down. The 2nd tank is under threat as well. The mine's not quite burrowing, but do we have enough on the ground for the Protoss?
Yeah, all the Zealots get shaved off, but I don't think that's going to be good enough. Cure picks up, gets on out of there, and we do have a recall into the main as well. So if he sees the recall, he can just go back down to the 3rd, but no, it looks like he wants to fight it.
Yeah, he wants to try to snipe the Forge. The Forge will go down. We blink on forward trying to chase down these medevacs, but no, we're not able to pick them off in the end. We have a couple of flanking stalkers coming in. It looks like 1 medevac will go down. Thankfully, there was nothing inside.
Yeah, medevac goes down there, and Cure now in an awkward spot. He did take out that Forge though, which is really nice. I mean, Cyan's going to have to go double Forge behind this to catch up. Cure going for a ghost timing rather than for a fast 2-2, so it's not going to be hugely impactful, but that is +2 that Cyan doesn't have. I mean, it's going to help with some pushes down the line. Cyan not really looking to take a 4th anytime soon, and he's making a Stargate.
Yeah, the Stargate was interesting. I saw him trying to like struggle to kill these medevacs, and then he threw down the Stargate. It may just be for like one air unit just to try and deny that.
Yeah, okay. You reckon he's getting the Stargate just to make a Phoenix?
Yeah.
I think you might be right. Yeah.
It's very possible. We'll see as Curious pushing in with his main army towards that natural base. He's going to be distracting Cyan and hoping to make an opening for that drop.
This is the kind of thing that I make fun of Protoss on ladder for doing. There you go. I guess it's fair enough. We do have one of these Colossus being disabled, but 3 Colossus is a Marine killing machine there, so you're going to be respecting that.
We'll respect that. Will back off. Doesn't want to throw away too much. Meanwhile, the medevacs are moving out. Do have a feedback on said medevacs, so are going to be keeping them pinned back. And there's that Phoenix that we were talking about. It's on the way.
Amazing.
Yo.
I can just imagine. I mean, Protoss doesn't really have builders that make their buildings, but if they did, it would be that one probe down on the ground, seeing those medevacs off in the distance, just like, oh, you know, a couple years from now when this Stargate is finished and we start production of these Phoenix, then you'll be sorry.
Yeah.
And I'll get my payback.
And hey, it may work out. Meanwhile, this push from Kira actually got a kill on the 4th base of Cyan. He wasn't in position. There wasn't any shield batteries to support his army either, so he wasn't able to contest against that army. Meanwhile, the double drop is still there, and the Phoenix has arrived.
Its time has come.
Oh,
I think it missed it at first. It went past.
Yeah, it did. But the Medivacs will finally
the Stalkers aren't here.
Oh no! The Stalkers are getting warped in, but it looks like one of them may just barely go down as well. So not a bad trade from Kira, but at least Cyan doesn't have to worry about the drop anymore.
Man, Marines are broken.
Hey, mate. You said it. Oh god, as we do see Cyan trying to double expand here to make up for his dead base. He's getting into a second robo as we speak to try again to double disruptor production, but before that happens, Kira is looking to pull Cyan apart.
Actually though, those 2 Stalkers cost like 6 times what 2 Marines cost.
I don't like this, Puffy. Don't like this. As we do see the army on the right hand side not able to make it through, but we do see the prison coming in the mine.
Oh, that prism must have been a little bit damaged already because the mine takes it down. I mean, mines don't one-shot prisms, so that's very unlucky for Cyan.
Yeah, very unfortunate. The prism goes down. That means Kira doesn't have to worry about any kind of counter-aggression. He can focus on his pushes. He can focus on his armies. He does have those 2 of them, and Cyan, has he been able to correctly split up his army? Does he have enough to hold on to his fringe bases?
Yeah, this is a classic Cure right here. This is what he's so very good at. This is kind of where he makes the big bucks when it comes to TVP, and what is so why is TVP so consistent as well.
Exactly, and here we go. The Raven jumps forward. We do have a disable on that Colossi, and without that Colossi, this army doesn't really hold a candle to Cure.
Yeah, Cure absolutely shreds through this army. That's going to be forcing some of the split to the right to come back here to reinforce, and if that does happen, he can start to engage from the right, but no, Cyan going to be disciplined, trying to clean this up with just the reinforcements coming out from the robo here.
Yeah, exactly, but is that going to be enough? Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, we do see the Colossi under threat as well. The Vikings are going to be getting on top of them, the Marauders as well, but it looks like, on the right at least, all Colossus survive.
Oh yeah, maybe a little bit of a better focus fire from Cure, and he would have been able to take down that one Colossus, but he's going to get pushed back here.
Yeah, and a pretty interesting choice because of this split map scenario, split army scenario. We actually have 6 Colossi out here for and he recalls on top of the Marauders.
Yeah, he recalls on the Marauders. Wow, 2 Colossus go down instantly. The 3rd one does too. That was a big mistake from Cyan to recall to the Nexus that was under attack, and he's going to get punished hard for it.
If it wasn't for that, I think he would have been in a decent position, to be honest. Like, he was able to keep his high-tech units alive. Sure, he lost a 5th base, but he had a 4th base behind it anyway. But now he's down to only a handful of Colossi.
Yeah, he had so many Colossus before that, but Colossus is such a funny unit. They're so fragile if the units actually get on top of them, but they can be completely game-winning if they're properly set up with a shield of army.
Yeah, exactly. But now we only have 2 Colossi remaining. We're finally getting into disruptor production, but this is a little bit too little too late. We have 1 disruptor ready for this. The army pushes forward. We have insane EMPs blanketing everything.
Yeah, beautiful EMPs, and that shield battery overcharge is not going to matter. GG is called. Cure takes game 1.
GG, well played. No reaction as stone-faced as always there. I mean, things were looking not too bad for Cyan. It felt like he was keeping up for the most part initially, but every now and then we saw Cure come into play. We saw that Raven come into play quite often. He was able to keep it alive throughout the entire game, and every single time we saw a disable, feels like a base would die. Yeah, Cure was relentless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. That was a really nice game from Cure. He's solid, standard self, and I do have to worry about Cyan in that case.
Yeah, I worry for him a little bit as well, but it is going to be his map of choice, and he is opting to go for Dragon Scales.
Dragon Beast.
Asher, you okay? The brain is off, Poppy. The brain, what's...
I'm just casting. What are you doing?
Okay.
I was reading something at the same time.
Tell me more.
You know, I don't know. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like... All right. Maybe I understand what I'm saying.
Talk to me.
I feel like a lot of casting is just saying things that come into your head. Like, you have to turn off that filter and you have to say most of the stuff that comes into your head. So sometimes that filter works, and instead of not saying something, I just pause and then say it. I feel like that happens a lot. I know you've noticed that. Like, sometimes I'll pause and you'll be like, what are you about to say?
Yeah,
like, you know something bad's coming.
Yeah.
And then you're like, say it.
Say. Look, I didn't expect nuts to be on the mind for dragon scales, but
nuts to be on the scales.
Yeah. Weigh them, Poppy.
Oh, those kind of scales. Yeah, that actually makes a lot more sense.
What were you thinking?
Well, in the case of dragon scales, it's not like scales to weigh a dragon.
Oh god, you're thinking of scaly nuts?
I guess so.
Okay.
But now I'm thinking of dragon scales as like special scales that are for weighing dragons. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been to the vet and they have special dragons to dragons. In the bottom right-hand corner, this is Cyan.
And in the top left-hand corner of dragon scales, we have for Team ABYDOS Cure.
Okay. They have the special scales that are for weighing cats. There's like big ones that they can like walk onto, and then they get weighed.
Yeah. I mean, look, dragons, sometimes they're a little bit self-conscious, you know, sometimes they want to work on their physique, and to do so every morning they go to scale themselves, you know.
Well, what if dragon scales, what this map actually was it's like a fake cave with gold in it to trick dragons to walk in, and then they get weighed.
Yeah, they get weighed. They get like they get tagged as well by their owners. You know, they get microchipped so we can keep track of them as well. You know, like they get checked up.
Yeah. They chip the dragons. They give them their vaccinations. You know, they worm them.
Yeah, they put the cone on.
Yeah. As Cyan is cheesing. He's cheesing hard. I think this is going to be a proxy robo.
Mate, that's what I told you, but it's the team GP maneuver.
It actually is. This is the secret power of the starving camels. Apart from the fact that they're hungry and that you won't like them when they're hungry.
It's true. I want to eat them.
What? What did you eat today, Light?
What did I eat today? I had some rice porridge.
Is it concerning to you that I wasn't sure if you were going to say anything?
Oh.
You're like, oh, this isn't an eating day.
I had half a cup. Rice.
Okay.
I had half a cup of coffee. Yeah.
Oh. I thought you don't drink coffee.
I don't.
But you had half a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I have 3 casts to do today, Pop.
Are you out of dare?
I haven't had a dare iced coffee in a long time.
No, I actually really want a dare iced coffee right now.
Yeah, order some. Get some cream filled Asher.
My God. Okay, there's actually going to be a proxy Stargate. It's going to be Oracle coming out first. Bit of a hero build. I feel like hero would have put the Stargate a little bit closer, so we're going to have to dock points for that. But apart from that, we're looking good.
Yeah, well, hero has no fear, and he would have just been in the face of his opponent. So Oracle Adept is most likely what we're going to be seeing here in combination to try and overwhelm and trying to get some damage done across the map. We'll see if Cure is up to the task, because I'm sure he has played many a TVP with hero.
Yeah, actually, that's true. I didn't even think of that. They were on a team together with DPG, right?
Yeah, they were.
Okay, he gets every single Marine. That's big. That's exactly what you're looking for with this Oracle, and that does mean that the follow-up Oracles can actually look to take down the Cyclone. 2 Oracles do beat a Cyclone, but unfortunately this one is very low
Yeah, it does back off to regenerate those shields. We do see 5 SCVs going to be going down. The wall has crumbled. The Zealot is going to have a hard time finding too much damage, and the Cyclone will come out.
That was so clean. Okay, you know, non-Terran player light, you're not going to appreciate what Kyo just did there. But when the Cyclone came out, before he attacked the Zealot, even though it was like instantly that he attacked the Zealot when it came out of the factory, he turned off the auto cast on the lock-on.
There you go, mate. There you go. He's holding on to that auto cast so he can automatically lock on to any other unit instead.
Well, it was just in case the Oracle dipped in, because if he used the lock on the Zealot and then the Oracle dipped in, that's so cool.
It would be wasted, but he'd be wasted.
He's so good.
He's taking care of his units, Pap. He's taking
for
care.
You.
Oh, for you.
The blink follow-up, yeah.
Yeah, interesting here. I mean, the oracles are banking up. I believe we have 3 oracles on the map currently, so they are just adding up over time. There they go. Meanwhile, is that 4 gates or is that 3?
I think it will be 4 with this. This looks like an all-in. This is such a hero build as well. Oh, he does bring it back to the mineral line so that he can repair. But man, look at the DPS of 3 oracles. It's completely insane. Those 2 cyclones never stood a chance. I mean, this is such a scary build to go up against, and the way that Cyan played it is absolutely perfect. This build relies completely on snowballing. That fight would have gone completely differently if there were Marines on the ground, but he already took out so many.
Yeah, exactly. With that lack of anti-air, both Cyclones do end up crumbling to be under the might of those Oracles. The Prism is not here as we are warping across the map. The Stalkers are, though, and oh boy, things are looking a little bit scary here for Cure.
That was a very fortunate pick off for Cyan as well, as Oracles just happened to be the way that the Reaper was going, so he denies the scout. Cure's going to be in the dark of what's coming next, and he might have no idea that there's a blink attack coming in. In fact, we can see that he doesn't have any tanks in production right now, so this has been beautifully done by Cyan, and I think he's going to have some success here.
Yeah, there's 1 tank, but it's on the low ground. It's at the natural. No tank in the main base, as you were pointing out. No tanks in production either. Blink is done, and we're going to be going straight to the main.
Yeah, blinks into the main. We do have Cure repositioning his tank, but oh, great blink coming in from Cyan. Such good killer instinct. He is just going for it, and he's getting so much damage.
Oh, let's go. We have 1 tank remaining, but it's about to go down. The boys are being pulled as well into Oracle Fire, and that is all that is left. We do have a couple of Marines coming from behind, though.
Yeah, no mineral wall coming out from Cure there, so it doesn't get quite as much damage on these Stalkers as you necessarily could. Looks like he is going to hold on just, but there's more Stalkers coming where that came from, and we don't have another tank in production. There's just not enough money. The Oracle flies into a turret. A little bit unfortunate, though.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy control from Cyan. We do have 1 more tank rocking up here to try to hold on Cure. His worker count, not amazing, but, you know, he still has 31 SCVs remaining here on these 2 bases. Cyan is looking for another wave, but no, he takes a 3rd base behind this.
Oh, that was not a good blink there by Cyan. Blink straight into the most defended area here, and we'll be losing 1 or 2 of these Stalkers as a result.
Oh, yeah, exactly. A little bit ill-advised. He does spot, though, that the tank has left the area, and he's going to be able to push on forward once again. Could take down this bunker in another volley, and so far the blinks have been solid, but no, the bunker does survive.
Okay, so it feels like Cure is starting to stabilize, which is insane to me. Yeah, absolutely no idea what was going on here, and he's still managing to do a pretty decent job holding it off, but Cyan, he's getting further and further ahead. He has a 3rd base up and mining, he's got charge on the way, he's getting all of his extra gateways as well, so using these Stalkers to keep getting damage and keep Cure on his side of the map is just making his lead stronger and stronger.
Yeah, as he does blink into the main base, he takes down the tank, but Stim is done, and now these Stalkers, it's a 1-way trip. They forced a recall, but so many of them are going to get picked off.
Yeah, many of them going down, and Cure might just want to throw down a couple extra racks, go for a 5 racks all in, pull the boys here, and if he can get across the map early enough before there's too many Zealots, he could definitely have some success with that.
Oh, he really could. I do worry here for Cyan that maybe things will be slipping through his fingers. We do have a bit of a gateway explosion here behind this as Cyan is getting ready to reinforce his army with charge ults with more blink stalkers, but for the time being, his army is looking quite vulnerable.
Yeah, good revelation going down here is going to be keeping an eye on the army of Cure, and that does allow Cyan to cut a few extra corners as well. He'll know when the army is moving out, of course, and behind this we see Cure sending that sending that Viking across the map for a little bit of extra damage that should just drop into the main. And man, having a look at everything that's going on here, I'm really curious, what's Cure's plan going to be to get back in this game? He is a player that's extremely good at reading the game and coming up with good game plans. But I wonder if he knows just how far Cyan is putting himself ahead.
Yeah, we'll see if he does start a third CC or if he does pull the boys instead. I can envision a 2-base all-in setup from Cure, but we'll see what he does decide to go for. Meanwhile, his army gets revealed once again as Cyan just keeps tabs on it, making sure he's aware of any kind of push. Cyan even taking a 4th Nexus behind this. Hopefully he's not being too greedy here. Hopefully he does focus on his army production as he's just now rounding it out, with those Archons.
Yeah, I don't mind it as we do see this Viking of Cure just going to be dipping around to all the different bases, trying to get some scouting done. And oh, man, the timing on this Prism coming into the main, this is going to be so difficult to deal with. It's only one Zealot being warped in. That's a little odd. I guess it's going to scout.
Yeah, it looks like we didn't quite have enough gateways up and ready for the warp in, unfortunately, as we do see the armies clashing in the middle of the map as well. Oh, the armies do spot each other, and that one Archon is looking a little bit exposed. We only have one tank.
Yeah, tank is going to be going down here. Some very good micro coming back, stuttering with the army is Cure, and we have another warp into the main. The mine's getting some good connections on these Zealots, but Cyan picks on it quite quickly and just sends in a single Zealot there. That's very nice stuff coming out from our ABYDOS player.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, I wonder how many gateways is he on, because again, it does feel like he's banking quite a lot of minerals and he's not quite making as many Zealots as we would expect, as he's pushing on forward here, trying to assert himself, trying to make sure that indeed his opponent is still on 2 bases.
Yeah, looks like Cure is just going to be going that 5 racks on 2 bases, so I do wonder if he is thinking of going for an SEV pull. I feel like his window is closing rapidly.
Yeah, and there's that gateway explosion. We have 4 gates on the way, 2nd robo and a robotics bay. If all of this gets up and running, then Cure is going to be in a world of hurt. But he's still looking for an engagement. He still can go toe-to-toe with the army of Cyan in the middle of the map.
Yeah, I think Cure absolutely has to pull the trigger here.
He really does. Meanwhile, a massive warping of Zealots into the main base. The tank of the main is going to be going down. The boys are being pulled, but they do run into the army immediately.
Oh, boy. Yeah, we are going to be having a lot of those Zealots going down in the main here. And Cure, he's just got to go for it. And that's a beautiful force field coming out from Cyan. Going to be locking him down on that ramp there.
Yeah, it's going to be slowing down the push of Cure again. Cure is completely all in. He pulled the boys, but the SCVs died immediately. We do have a stage trap being set up as well. We do have a concave as well for the big fight.
Despite that, there's really not a huge amount here for Cyan. I mean, we don't have the boy pool here for Cure. He's just staying back and trying to macro out of this one, but here we go. Going to be taking a great fire. Really nice focus fire on the Archons as well. Cure's going to be looking to trade out as well as he can, and he's doing a decent job of it, but I think he needs to get out of there now.
Yeah, exactly. And but he already pulled the boys. They're dead. he's got 20 workers, Bobby. There's nothing else left. He has to end the game with what he's got left, and Cyan is going to try and hold on here, but that's a lot of Marines. That's a lot of Marauders.
Yeah, it's a good amount of units. I think there might just be too many Archons here, but the micro so far is really fantastic from Cure. Cyan actually making a Disruptor. I think a little bit of a strange choice here to make a Disruptor rather than a Colossus, but I think he's actually done it. I think it's all over for Cure. I just don't see a way for him back into this game now.
I think the Disruptors are really risky. I agree with you, but regardless, he is pulling this off here. Cure, he's trying to somehow come back in this game. He still has a decently large army, but at the same time, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Cyan. He's going for a counterattack. Novas go off, just buying him more time.
And this is absolutely insane. If Cyan wins this, that is the Starving Camels taking the victory over ABYDOS. So you're going to be fighting with absolutely everything that he has to make sure that ABYDOS can win against such a team that they're such competitors with. Considering where they both are on the table, looks like both Disruptors going to be sniped down. A little bit careless from Cyan here.
Yeah, and this is why we were both a little bit on the fence about whether or not he should have made it Disruptors or Colossi. Disruptors are so much more vulnerable. All 3 Disruptors do go down.
Yeah, but I think it's not enough. We see all the Archons converging, the Zealots converging as well. GG gets called, and Cyan has done it.
Oh, Bob. Oh! Let's
the
go.
Cure.
It's the Cure, and he says no to the Cure. He's fine on his own. His immune system is powerful. The jacket is off. Oh, that was a massive mug. Jesus, that was huge.
Yeah, that's how he does it. He just has lots of water. Big mugs of water. He doesn't need no medicine.
Exactly. Hydrate your Hydras, puppy. GG, well played with that win. The Starving Camels SSLT take down ABYDOS 4-2.
Man, that is crazy. Starving Camels are looking so good in this competition. They are absolutely gunning for a playoffs finish here, and it's so exciting to see them take down a team like ABYDOS and really set themselves apart. That really does say to me that they are going to be in the top 7, and ABYDOS maybe aren't.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's for context, because people may be tuning in for the first time. The Starving Camels, they took down Shopify Rebellion. That's Scarlet, that's Lambo, that's Beyond. They went to the ace match against Team Basilisk. They went to the ace match against Raynor, against Cyril, against Trigger. And they were also able to have a really solid performance